This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. Like I said, Deontay Wilder is living rent and space free in Tyson Fury's head, soaking up all the damn AC. Let me say it again. Deontay Wilder is living rent and space free in Tyson Fury's head, soaking up all the damn AC. You see Anthony Joshua, this is a turncoat MFer. Turncoat MFers, let me explain something about them. They like to go everywhere and be opera singers. They like to go, yeah, 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 and then go somewhere else and go, yeah, 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 yeah. They change a tune every which way they go. They're chameleons. They don't stand on nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're not consistent and authentic as you know what. So because of that, they have no substance and sustenance behind them. So on their own accord, this is why they are what we call bona fide Robins, because they bring no cachet to the table. They're unwatchable. They're unmarketable. They're unsellable. They're unviewable. That's what turncoats are. Anthony Joshua is a AJ Devo. What's helping him is the fact that most of his fans, if not all his fans, are females. So that's what's helping him at this point. But when you look at him in terms of being a boxer, he's not keeping that same energy, dog. He's not. And what I mean when I say keeping that same energy is this guy on one end said, oh yeah, Tyson Fury, I'll help you spar Deontay Wilder. And then he becomes turncoat MFer and he says, because he knows the sport, you know what I'm saying, new media and all of these other like-minded individuals kept the foot on the what? On the necks. And kept the foot on the what? On the necks. And like the Tibetan Mastiff, we applied what? Unlimited pressure, because pressure does what? It bursts his pipes. We forced him to do what turncoats do when pressure is applied on them. The pressure bursts the damn pipes, and he went and hid into his rabbit ass cocoon. And when he did that, he then tried to say, oh, I never said, you know what I'm saying, me and Tyson Fury would spar. Where did they come up from? It's not even believable. But then he comes back and says, well, Tyson Fury, the offer still stands. This reminds me of the Maya Angelou term, right? When she says, if a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Let me say it again. If a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. You're supposed to believe them. Anthony Joshua showed us that he's an AJ Devo, or AJ Celestial being, a guy who won't even shake UK fans' hands because if he shakes their hands, it's too dirty. I've told you, I've seen this before on camera where he takes his hands and wipe it on the back of a bodyguard. This is how he supposedly feels about you UK fans. So you're the ones being duped by supporting a guy who really doesn't care two flying, you know what's about you. He just wants your money and he wants your time and he wants your fanship. It's really that simple. But you got to be a deep thinker at the basic level of these boxing streets to understand what's going on here. But anyways, on to Tyson Fury. When a guy has his wife say, please don't fight that man anymore. Let me say it again, because you have to sing it like an opera singer. Please don't fight that man anymore. That's why she sound. I'm serious. Y'all laughing. And y'all gonna be laughing in this video, but it was the truth. She went, please don't fight that man anymore. When your woman is singing opera, dog, because it's the fact that she sees that an alpha male is above your own self, that's sad. That means you've already lost the battle before you won the war. Basically, Deontay Wilder has Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, Tyson Fury on three fronts. That's the first and most important front. Because if your wife doesn't believe in you, you have no chance. Now, John Fury, his father. Why this is big? Because John Fury is supposedly Tyson Fury's role model, right? He's his mentor. He fired Ben Davison. It wasn't Tyson Fury that did that. It was John Fury that did that because of the Otto Wallin exposure, man. That's what it was at its truest and its most proper level. And John Fury understands that, damn, if Otto Wallin could do this to Tyson Fury, I fear for my son. So he sang his opera too. Let me say it again. I fear for my son. Number 3 for the number of confirmation. I fear for my son. He feared for his damn son. That was the truth of the fact of the matter. Now we have to fast forward. Gypsy King went into a recent mental lapse. And let's rewind, because lest you forget, lest I have to remind your ass. This man went into a recent gypsy mental lapse. The mental lapse, he said, I don't care about Deontay Wilder. I don't care about Paris Fury. I don't care about John Fury. I don't care about Ben Davison. I don't care about me. He put himself last. That tells you that he really values himself at the lowest levels. Because anybody that values themselves don't put themselves last. And they always do what we call self-preservation is the law of the land. You put yourself first. And then he mentioned his wife. Second, after Deontay Wilder. This is the woman you sleep with at night. This is the woman that you have kids with. How you gonna mention a boxer above her? You see what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder's living rent and space free in Tyson Fury's head and soaking up all the damn AC. That press conference wasn't believable. What Tyson Fury showed you was a guy who was a shell of himself. I told you he's suffering the equivalent of what we call 3 car crashes. Let me say it again. He's suffering the equivalent of what we call 3 car crashes because he got 2 knockdowns, right? But the second one was a technical knockout. So when you get a knockout, that's the equivalent of 2. Plus, if you add the knockdown, that's 3. Remember, it took him 14.06 seconds to get up. I don't know where they do that at, dog. Jack Reese, you tripping, dog. You showing favoritism there because usually you call a damn fight. Just like you know what I'm saying, show favoritism in other fights. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. And this is the supposed false great white hope that's going to debunk Deontay Wilder. And then you have these reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panderers, what I call mentally lapsed Gypsy King fanboys that are doing what we call wishful thinking. Because that's all they can do at their truest and their most properest levels. Do wishful thinking. Oh, I think that Tyson Fury is going to get the job done. They're not even confident. You know why? Because Tyson Fury hit the canvas twice and he basically did his most perfect iteration of the herky-jerky style, which Deontay Wilder has figured out. They know deep down inside that once Deontay Wilder connects with the super right commitment power hand, it is over for Tyson Fury. They know this. This is why they're giving you wishful thinking and saying, yeah, I think Tyson Fury is going to get the job. I think Tyson Fury upstaged Deontay Wilder in the first press conference. If you're not even believing what you're saying, then why say it? Oof, what I said was so deep and profound. Bloop, bloop. Let me rewind it because it needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me and hear me well. If you're not even believing in what you're saying, why even say it? Why even unction it? Because he knows the sport is consistent and authentic as you know what. So when I say something, I, like Deontay Wilder, I've spoke it, believed it, and received it, and therefore it shall come to pass into existence. This is what men with confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset do. True alphas. That's what Deontay Wilder is. So Tyson Fury is not deluding anyone. You heard Deontay Wilder. After I knock out Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua keep that same energy, dog. Let me say it again. After I knock out Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder said, Anthony Joshua keep that same fury. Keep that same energy, dog. And it's funny to me because when you got these two bozos trying to work together, it just not only strengthened the resolve of how dangerous Deontay Wilder is, but it reaffirms that he is the man of the heavyweight division. Then why help each other spar? If you guys think that you could beat him, unquestionably and unequivocally, why help each other? And you know what this does? It really showcases the superiority of the U.S. fighter versus the UK fighter. I know that was a juggler and it threw an uppercut, but it is what it is, man. I have to call a spade a spade. I got to keep that thing real and I got to keep it 100 and keep it a buck. The truth of the fact of the matter is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, by them doing what they're doing and their public displays of public affection, is showing that Deontay Wilder is a guy that they're afraid of. That's the truth of the fact of the matter. This is He Knows the Sport. Check it out.